your shit. Scream out loud. We all love Tetris. Summer Slashback has officially begun. Creepy Kentuckyan will slice and dice and he'll kill everyone. It's the cruel summer Slashback.
I'd like to take this time just to tell you to eat my ass.
It's the cruel summer Slashback. Makes you shiver every time. Scream out loud for all the slasher shit. Scream out loud. We all love Tetris. Guns and ghouls and knives. Shadows dance in the moonlight. Monsters roam without trace. Hear what they bring to this place. It's the cruel summer Slashback. Feel the chill down your spine. It's the cruel summer Slashback. Makes you shiver every time.
Oh, yes! Oh.
What is going on, everybody? Ooh, we're creeping it. We're keeping it. We're creeping it. Cool and cruel this summer, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what are you doing, buddy? You back from vacation?
Yes.
You got stung in the dick by a jellyfish?
I'm recovering from a 12-hour car ride yesterday. Right. And here's the thing. Here's the thing on these car rides, right? If it's 12 hours, you're bound to have to shit at least once. So on the ride down there, I made the mistake of stopping at, a coworker of mine was talking about Truett's Chick-fil-A, right? There's 5 of these, like a Cracker Barrel Chick-fil-A hybrid's what it's supposed to be. It's not that. I thought the idea, I was like, oh, that's an ingenious idea. It's just a regular Chick-fil-A food with like a couple of like fucking hoity-toity extras, right? But something that I ate there gave me the shits.
Yes.
So that extended the trip. I had to shit 3 times after I went to Truett's Chick-fil-A. And I told my wife, I was like, let's get us some Imodium for the way back. That way I won't have to shit and hold the trip up, right? So she did, but guess what? She packed the Imodium in this big ass suitcase that was like, you'd have to be Indiana Jones to find the fucking Imodium in that. So sure enough, luckily I didn't eat a whole lot. We just had like a steak and shake sandwich or something like that more than halfway home, and I only had to shit once. So
I'm proud of you.
there is that. But other than that, long car rides, lots of people.
Wait a minute. What is the Chick-fil-A like you go inside and eat in there? Or like how does that work?
It's a sit down restaurant. You have a waitress. They take your order. They have all the other Chick-fil-A stuff, right? I like the spicy chicken sandwich. It's usually what I get.
Yeah.
Which is what I got. Right. And, I was thinking they would go a little bit more upscale with the sauces and have them in the, little squirt bottle things. But no, they still toss the, those little cup things that they give you at the drive-thru Chick-fil-A. But, I was very disappointed with Truett's Chick-fil-A. At least the one that I was at. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why do you even name it something else? Right? Because they do have dine-in Chick-fil-A restaurants anyway. So who cares? Like, I've never ate in there. And this will be the first and the last damn time I ever ate at one of them Truett Chick-fil-A's, too. They can kiss my fucking eyes. But, overall, it's a pretty good trip. Would not go in July again. We normally go in September. So I would not, peak season, a lot more people, a lot more loudmouth little bastard kids run around, aggravate the shit out of you.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
So did you have like a lot of kids come up to you and be like, "Oh, you're the creepy Kentucky. You'll fucking kill him."
No, but they still aggravated the hell out of me.
Trying to get your autograph. Come on,
Like,
bud.
I mean, I understand there's a lot of people in the swimming pool. And that's where I mainly went, was the swimming pool, because, you know, the ocean is normally pretty conveniently like next to the pool. But the way that this one was set up is like the fucking sand. There's like a half a mile of sand that you have to walk through to get to the damn ocean. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Not a half a mile, no. But
Yeah.
I mean, pretty, yeah, good.
And this is deep sand too, man. This is like fucking. I felt like Artax in the Never-Ending Story when I was
Pull you out there.
stepping out there.
The fucking
right?
bridle around you, pull you out there.
I was like,
right.
shit, I'm sinking in the, you know, work
gonna
on
be
your
honest
fucking
with
calf
you.
muscles.
I'll be honest with you about something. I don't like the ocean. I don't see the point in it. It's okay. So hear me out on this real quick. Everybody wants to go to the beach, right? When fucking beach, fuckity beach. It's all you ever hear about, this goddamn beach. So you go to the beach,
Yeah.
and you lay by the beach, and then you get sand in every goddamn crevice that you
In
have.
your vagina.
But also, then you get in the ocean, and you can't see shit. You keep getting hit by shit, and it scares the fuck out of you. Could be a jellyfish, could be a shark, could be a fucking moray.
Oh, it's a little tropical fish. It ain't going to do nothing.
Could
to
be,
you.
but it could be something else. It could be a crab bite your dick off. Here's the other part of it too. Then you get hit full on the fucking face with a wave full of like salt water. And like, who the hell just fucking get in the swimming pool? Like, I don't understand the fascination with the beach. I really don't. I never have. You know,
I always like
why?
it. Usually, like, okay, if it's like a regular calm day and there hasn't been any storms or anything, the water out, you know, Panama City Beach is very still, much like a damn swimming pool, right? And you can see through it. You can see what's all around you and everything. It wasn't really like that this time because there was a lot of rain and stuff for a couple of days before and after we left. So, and it rained a little bit while we were there, but you know, I'm not scared. What are you scared of? You scared a little tropical fish is going to bite your bird off?
Buddy, listen. I don't like being like where I don't know what the fuck's going on. If I can't see everything going on underneath me, I'm not going to dive down there and come face to face with like a goddamn tiger shark or something, bite my fucking head off. It's just not going to happen. But aside from that, like the last time, this was kind of hilarious. I don't know if I ever mentioned this before. Last time we went to the beach and Savannah got in the fucking ocean and we were having a great time. You know, whatever. The one thing I do like about the beach is if you're just like laying there and you hear the waves roll in and shit, that is like one of the best parts.
Calming.
Yes.
And if you got a balcony set up, you can just sit out there and just, like I could go to sleep out there.
Yeah. And you can, and the sunsets are amazing. And that's all great. But she got in there and she, sure enough, got fucking stung by a jellyfish on the fucking leg. And here's the thing.
She thought a shark was biting her.
I don't think she thought that, but like, she will never go in the fucking ocean again. I just know it.
I hear that's very painful. Did you pee on her leg?
I did. I peed on her leg. That was before that.
They said, oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just preemptive, preventative measure before she got in the ocean.
I wonder what would happen like if somebody got stung in the mouth by a jellyfish. Like I'm sure it's happened as people pissed in. Come on. It's good for you.
Yeah. Piss in your mouth. That should be like a Jackass skit or something. One of them getting stuck in the mouth by a jellyfish. Somebody has to piss in their mouth. That sounds just like something they would do.
Oh shit.
Oh.
But we're back to business, boys. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight, including next week's Summer Slashback episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a little bit unconventional. I guess the unconventional episode, right? It's next week. So we're talking about that a little bit later on. And we're talking some wilderness survival slasher films tonight, right?
Yeah, we're going, I guess, with like backwoods slashers, which that's always kind of been like one of my favorite subgenres of slasher movies too, is the backwoods. And there's some really good ones. Unfortunately, we didn't pick neither one of those for this fucking show.
There are some good ones, but they're just not going to be on this episode. And
No.
yeah, and we do have a poll up, I believe, if it's working. YouTube has been a little bit wanky lately. Which is the better slasher film, Savage Weekend or The Final Terror? So let us know on that. And we do have 80 people already checking this out live. If you are a fan of these shows, we've got plenty from the past. What is this? This is the 4th week we've done them this year? I think so.
I think that's right, yeah.
I think it's 4. So a total of, after tonight's episode, 28 slasher movies over the last couple of years that we have taken a look at. All of them, pretty much, we've never really talked about in great detail together before. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to get to those here in just a little bit, too. But we do have plenty of people checking this out live, and we greatly appreciate it. We're going to go and do we'll try to do an old school roll call here from the very top. Antonis is in the house, a matter of Pat Vanderhoff. Man, he liked Savage Weekend. Well, God bless him. SYC Jim, the blackest Peter the world has ever known. Justin Smith. Dino is in the house. What is going on, man? It's great to be back. Nubbins, the Witch Hunter. Adrian James, Kevin Smith, Business of Fear, The Mayor, Goblins Inc., Ken Carlson, Mega Man MG, MIG, Suspirian Knight, Baby Mickey Rooney. Look at that.
Look at there.
Hello, fellas. In 1938, I was the biggest star in the world. I sure am glad that we all like girls in here. Well, I like everybody, Mickey. Jackson Jack, Dangle 21. What is up? Weston Warner, Mark Green, Brian Z. And Rye the Horror Guy, Midnight in Space, Fun Bobby. All right. So we appreciate all you guys. If I missed anybody, I do apologize, but I'm only human. I'm a simple man in Eastern Kentucky. But we should go ahead and get into these movies because, yeah, and we'll start, I guess, with Savage Weekend, which it's one of those movies that for many years, this one was really a hard movie to see. Like, I don't think up until just a few years ago, this thing ever had anything aside from a VHS release.
The version that I saw was still a hard movie to fucking see. I couldn't see a damn thing that was going on in it, but I know what you mean, though. So, 1979 is when Savage Weekend came out. So, it's not really like a byproduct of the slasher craze. It's really a film that came out before that craze even really got started. Mm-hmm. And some people call it like a proto-slasher. I'm not sure really what the fuck this movie is or how I would really define it, to be honest. It's like partially a Texas Chainsaw Massacre ripoff, kind of like a Deliverance ripoff, mixed with a slasher film.
It's oddly edited together, too, and put together. Like, I almost get the feeling with Savage Weekend that they were going for something. And this was, from what I understand, this was filmed in 76 and sit on for a few years. Come out in 79 in, I think, Canada or the UK, in 1980 in the US. And some scenes in it, like it's got the, well, do you want to talk about the movie first? And then we'll get into like,
God, I'll try, man. If I could like get through this plot, I'd be amazed. But I mean, I know that
I think you can do it.
It's about a group led by this chick named Marie, who leaves to go on this trip to upstate New York with her boyfriend, I think, her sister,
right,
and a very openly gay man named Nicky.
Which was like a big thing back in the day. You didn't really, like, openly gay people were not that open back then. So
there's some scenes in this movie that are like about as un-PC as it gets. But like, anyway, they go out into the country. They arrive at this place. There's the guy that lives there has hired this local guy to help build a boat or something like that. And the local guy is kind of like a creepy hitchhiker-esque like guy. David Gale is in it, and he plays like one of the love interests.
He's channeling his best Sam Elliott in this movie.
Yeah. That's a great mustache. Yeah.
The
And there's more like, it's more of like a, I guess because swingers were a big thing around that time. It's more about like that kind of thing. There's a lot more nudity in this film than there is violence.
There's shots in this that look like straight up porno
Yeah.
too, like softcore. Maybe,
It's almost like that's what they were going for. And this scene right here, I'm pretty sure a pig actually gets branded.
Right.
I kept watching that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's real, and that's like an animal.
For sure.
Yeah.
You see blisters popping up and stuff like that, so it's for sure a poor little piggy.
But ultimately, they're all staying at this house, and they start getting like killed one by one, and by this masked person. Which the mask in this is actually pretty cool. And I guess the rest of the film is just a basic slasher whodunit kind of thing, but it's really oddly shot. It's a fucking weird film too.
It's weird, yeah, oddly made. The music in it is all over the place too. They use like banjo music in it, and then they almost go like a Broadway.
It's like banjo with synth added underneath it. It's the weirdest combination of like music.
Well, and they've got like this almost like a Broadway dance number that they continuously play throughout it too. There's some cool ideas in this, and the visuals in this movie. Some are very, very similar to what we would later see in like Friday the 13th, the first Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
I can understand how some people may enjoy it just because it does have some good ideas and it's kind of way ahead of its time. You know, it's made before Halloween and Friday the 13th. But it's very, like it's an unknown movie, really. I mean, still to this day, like this Blu-ray release here is, I think now out of print. It's a Scorpion release that they did along with Kino about 4 or 5 years ago. And I was curious about it and got it during one of those sales. And it since went out of print, and people are like, you know, doing backflips in their own shit trying to get it for like $50 or $60. If I would have paid that kind of money for this movie, I would be very pissed off with what I got. William Peterson is also in this. Like, there's
a lot of known people in this, yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, red herrings as well. Like they start it, and this is an early movie too, where they kind of start it at the end and then go, like, you know what I'm saying, at the very end with him, and then kind of like, because he's the big red herring in it. They're
Wait
like,
a minute, you talking about William Sanderson? William Peterson's
Yeah.
a dude from NCIS.
William Sanderson, sorry.
Yeah.
Sanderson, Peterson, Baklava.
Or CSI, is it CSI? Or I don't know. One of them damn movies.
William Peterson is Pat Garrett from Young Guns too, and
that's right.
He was in Manhunter and To Live and Die,
yeah,
and all that. Sanderson was only he's in a bunch of shit as like a character actor, but the only other big real role that I know him in is Newhart, the newer Newhart show as Larry, and he had two brothers named Daryl. Right,
that was the biggest thing back then in the 80s, man. People fucking like mark out over it.
And the funny thing is, if you remember him from that movie, the look of Larry came from Otis, which is the character that he played in this. Like, as far as his clothing, layered clothing, and the toboggan and everything. Yep. He did an interview on that Blu-ray and actually said that. He was like, that's where I got the idea of
that makes
the
sense.
Look of the character. Yeah, because
he's basically playing the same role.
Yeah, essentially dressing exactly the same. And like, his character in this Otis is like the town weirdo, and he talks to his best friend that's passed away in the graveyard, and he actually does a really good job in the role. He is probably the only person in the movie that does a good job. But yeah, I thought that he was really good in it.
So I tell you, like, what it comes down to with this movie to me, though, like, there is so many scenes in this movie that don't make any sense in context. They just happen. And that's really what this movie is. It's like the editing's awful, and it's just a bunch of scenes thrown together, like what I assume is to waste time. And like none of them really make sense in the context of the film. So it goes back and forth between like times and also between like just areas with no connection from like one thing to the other about what's going on. Like there's I'll give you an example. Like there's several scenes where people will be talking from one scene and they'll cut to another scene while that person's still fucking talking about the other thing. And it's not at all connected to the next scene. It's just like they didn't edit it right or something. They just, somebody's like talking over the next scene.
The pacing and the editing and how the characters move to the woods. Like, cause it starts off, the Marie character, which is the lead in this, played by Marilyn Hamlin, who's recently involved in a divorce, like a custody dispute. I think her husband got into some trouble, like he was a politician or something like that.
He went to a Coldplay concert and got caught.
And he got caught on the kiss cam. But got into some. They don't explain it very well, to be honest with you. And then it immediately cuts there to where they go into their retreat in the woods with these two couples and Big Gay Al or whoever the damn guy's name is. It was. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
They made a point to make him very flamboyantly gay in this.
Okay, so that's actually my favorite. I think that guy is the best overall character in this movie, to be honest. And my favorite scene in the whole movie is the bar scene where he goes in, and it's like a redneck bar, and he's just being like as flamboyant as he can possibly be, and like trying to antagonize them in the bar. And he ends up getting into a fight and he beats everybody up in there. And he's just like, it's, you just got to watch it. Like we're not allowed to talk about stuff like that because we're good people. And this is, we can't talk about
very, very careful. Like yeah. Very careful there. There's a couple of good shots in this. I thought, his death scene in it was pretty good. There's like, they don't have a lot of death scenes in this. Neither of these movies have like a high body count really at all.
No.
And then the killer in this has like this, I don't know how you would describe it, like a bloody latex. Like I'm sure it was like a store-bought mask that they used or something. And I thought that was pretty cool. I'm surprised that they didn't try to take advantage of that on like the promotional materials there, but it may be for the fact that they were using a store-bought mask. I don't know. But the look of the killer was kind of cool. You don't see it. You don't see him very much in the movie.
The very end of the movie, yeah.
This is not like proto slasher like you were saying earlier. This was a movie, I think when they made it in 76, they were trying to make something more along the lines of like, a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Last House on the Left or something like that, like a gritty, movie in the woods, especially with the music and the way it was shot and everything. And they do have a pretty cool battle at the end with the killer. Who I'm not going to give it away if anybody wants to watch it. I wouldn't recommend it, but go for it. Machete versus chainsaw battle, man. That's kind of cool considering, what, how iconic those two weapons would later become in multiple franchises, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of people that think that like this movie really influenced like a lot of the Friday the 13th films and things like that would come along later. And I guess maybe that's true. Maybe it could have. But it's just, they didn't really know what the hell they were doing in this movie. They didn't know how to construct like a slasher film at this time. So really it's just a couple of scenes of people getting killed. And most of the kills aren't very good either. They're mostly like,
there's some weird shit in this too. Like the Marilyn Hamlin's character, Marie, in this, and Sam Neill. I want to keep calling him Sam Neill, but it's David Gale, who's in Reanimator.
Yeah.
Dressed up as Sam Neill in this. Like, I don't know. For some reason, I just think Sam Neill was in this. But no.
He's not, but yeah.
It's David Gale. They have like this weird sexual tension. There's a scene with with her where she's pretty much jacking off a cow. I'm not kidding. And
No,
they
that's
show it
true.
up close.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? What?
It's a bunch of shit like that though. There's so much weird stuff like the pig getting branded and that. And then there's like shit where they have like a costume party, like what would you call it? Like a 20s costume party at the end of the movie or something. And the chick, and I was like, I know this girl from somewhere because she's one of the teachers, the hot teacher from 3 O'Clock High. That's how I know her. She's in it and she does like a strip tease for goddamn near like 10-15 minutes
With this music that we're talking about earlier.
yeah. And it's weird just scenes like that just come out of nowhere and go on forever. And I really don't think this was like trying to be experimental as it was just them just trying to fill up time. Like I just don't know. I don't think that they knew what to do. So they were just like, we'll put together like a musical number here. Then we'll put together like a bunch. There's so many sex scenes in this too to take up time. And I'm pretty sure that's all they're there for. Like just like softcore. There's probably 5 different.
Yeah.
Like
you do see
like
every
that.
female's
You
tits
do.
in this multiple times.
That's the saving grace of this is like everybody gets nude and they're all hot as hell. Like everybody in this movie. Like,
yeah, the girl with the black and red lingerie and then like her death scene is kind of like, they don't really show it very much, but they could have been onto something really cool with that had they had a payoff for it. But they really didn't, right? She's strung up and they use like electrical wire and you're thinking, oh, they're going to blow her head off or something like that with electricity. But no, it never gets to that.
There's nothing that cool in this movie.
Now there is a scene with a chainsaw and this dude basically getting like, mutilated with a chainsaw, but you don't really see a whole lot of that either. But the idea behind it and the way that they shot it was pretty good. Planet CHH, man. Hey, I never go anywhere without my Peter.
It's cruel.
Just so you know. It's a cruel Peter.
So,
yeah.
There's also something else in this. I don't know if you caught this, but I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me because it was so funny. There's a scene where the guy, like the gay friend, standing in the kitchen, and they're shooting like a shot of like him on the side, and then they show the kitchen from the front. Or I'm sorry, like the dining room from the front, and there's like 2 people talking, and there's a boom mic that's like clearly visible for at least 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's the most easily identifiable thing in that shot, and nobody does anything about it. They don't change the scene or anything. They're like, they don't cut. Like
I noticed that too, and I read about it. Evidently, there's 2 different cuts of this movie. So there's an open, like what do they call it? Open frame cut, which a lot of movies were shot this way and are still shot this way. I think some of the Terminator movies may have been shot like that. A lot of action movies. Where they shoot it basically in a big square and then they cut it off for widescreen, like in theaters and stuff. So evidently like that was supposed to have been cut off in the widescreen mode, but evidently it was too much on there. They couldn't have. So like they knew it was there, but they were thinking they could just cut it off or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the funniest shit ever just to see it like hanging around there forever and nobody does anything. But I hate this movie, man. I can't even like lie. Like it may have been influential on slasher films. I guess I could see that in a couple of like ways, but it's not really a coherent fucking movie. It's just a bunch of shit thrown at a wall. It's shit thrown at a screen door. And then some of it just like squeaks out. The rest of it's just like laying there. And that's what we're left with.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we do have, I guess I can check it here. The poll running, which is the better slasher film. And mine is only showing 8 votes. Is that right? Are you looking on it?
I would say most people haven't seen these movies. Man.
Well, we gave you guys 2 weeks to find them. They're on TV.
Yeah, they're both on there. And like that version of Savage Weekend I was telling you, it's like you're watching it through a fucking screen door. Speaking of which, like you can barely see anything going on. It's so dark and yeah, it's rough. It's a rough watch.
Dark and brutal, but it's tied. It's 50-50, man, right now. So that's interesting. That's
I mean,
like,
you know, I could make a case for either one of these movies. Like I could see how anybody could think either one of them was better. Really, the problem
I thought the Blu-ray looked pretty good. Like, I mean, for what it was, like, it's not. I think they probably took a 35 millimeter film print and just scanned it from that. Movie like this, I don't know if they would have the original source material or anything. But yeah, man, I like, as far as Savage Weekend goes, it's an interesting watch. I think there's some good ideas in it, but it's very poorly made. The editing is really bad in it. The pacing is very slow.
listen, there's one thing that's fucking amazing in this movie, though. I'm marked out. I don't know why. There's certain. Sorry, hold on. There's certain scenes where like people will be like getting killed, they'll get murdered, and like as when the stinger or whatever happens, as somebody's getting stabbed or chopped up or whatever, it sounds like when you get like the high score on like skee ball or something. It's like like the sirens going off and shit. Like that's the kill scene, and it's fucking hilarious. Like I go back and just watch like a couple of the kills just to see that, because they didn't. I guess at that point you didn't know like what kind of music do you put in for a death scene like that. And really, if you think about it, that wasn't really known, or like, what would you call it, like trademarked until Halloween and then Friday the 13th. Like that kind of like music and stingers. So this shit is just like you're at an arcade game. You're at an arcade or something. Yeah.
You get 4 tickets.
It just adds to the overall really like shittiness of this movie.
Something else that's funny though to mention on here too is when this movie came out initially, like slashers were still kind of a new thing. So this came out in the US in 1980. I'm not sure the date in 80, but Friday the 13th was June of 80, right?
Yeah.
So like it's almost like they sat on this movie for 4 years and knew it, and there's a bunch of them like this. The next movie's like this too, and they knew it sucked, but they were just like, well, fuck, we've spent this money. And where have I got the DVD? The cover art is very misleading, man.
Oh yeah, it's a prime example of like an amazing cover for a shitty film.
Yeah. You have been chosen. You are doomed, and prepare. You are doomed if you watch this movie.
You are.
I will say.
Yeah.
But there is some interesting stuff in it. There's some shots that are very similar to what we would see in Friday the 13th. And it is interesting that this was made like 4 years before that movie came out. And this was the cover on the VHS tape. This isn't anything new. But I mean, if you're a hardcore slasher fan, you'll definitely want to check it out, but don't go out of your way and throw down $60 for this Blu-ray or anything. Just go watch it on tape back.
I'd punch somebody in the face if they paid $60 for that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Before I forget about it, let me scroll up here. We did have a super chat from Matthew Hara. Cruel Summer, man. The Burning and Madman combo boss. He's got a $1.99 super chat in here. He's requested it.
No.
I'm sorry, Matthew. We've already talked about that, sir. If you want to go back in the archives on the Patreon page, probably 12 years ago, I think.
I don't want to talk about the
podcast.
No more.
Speaking of which, all of the old episodes are on the podcast feed of the Cruel Summer Slashback. So if you wanted to go back and listen to us talk about, I don't know, cheerleader camp or the Prey or whatever, you can do that. And even this past week's episodes too from this year. So the other one that we've got to take a look at, and I was kind of like dreading this, but I knew that eventually we would have to do this because this is one of those movies that that people always talk about as the early 80s slasher boom. And this is another one of those movies that was made years before it actually came out. And the one we're talking about today is The Final Terror from 1983. And this is another one, man, that it's not really a slasher movie, but they marketed it as such. And I think they even tagged on an extra couple of death scenes they filmed after the fact, like years later, to add into the movie to make it more of a slasher movie. And the interesting thing with this one too is Andrew Davis, the director of this, would later go on to do some pretty huge big budget action movies like Under Siege with Steven Seagal. And probably the biggest one that I think he did was The Fugitive with Harrison Ford, which was like, I was like, what? Holy shit. Like that was a multi-million-dollar blockbuster. But I think this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was his first movie. And only horror movie.
But also the dude that did Savage Weekend did Schizoid.
Fuck him.
That's all he ever did do. He was like, they were like, get the fuck out of here, guy. God, did Savage Weekend.
Look, we gave you another chance and you fucking blew it.
You had 2 goddamn chances to make something more than shit. You couldn't do it. Now get out of here.
Police of truly.
But yeah, that other the guy that did Final Terror actually had a career. So that's nice.
It's bizarre. I mean, there is, this is a weird movie too. What do you have? Like a group of campers that are going into the woods, right? And they're part of like the Marine Corps or something like that.
Some sort of weird like military, maybe like ROTC shit or something. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Right. I think they're Army Rangers, right? I wrote it down here, I think. Who go to pick up a group of young females that are camping in I think it looks like Northern California. And the cast is full of like known people, like Mark Metcalf, who I mainly remember from the Twisted Sister music videos from back in the day, but he was kind of the heel in Animal House. And you had Joey Pantoliano, or Pants, probably easier to pronounce.
Joey Pants from Goonies and all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of shit, The Matrix. Daryl Hannah, who I think was one of the big reasons that this movie finally came out. When she hit it big, I think in like the early 80s with, what was it, Blade Runner and...
Splash, probably?
Splash, yeah. So they decided to release it. Oh, fuck, Daryl Hannah was in it, but this was filmed in 79, I think. But also, Rachel Ward is in this, who I love. Lewis Smith is in this too, who's in a bunch of like lower budget movies, but my favorite was The Heavenly Kid that he was in.
Yep.
So it's a great cast of people, but they start getting picked off in the woods. Not really slasher style, because there's not a whole lot of deaths in this. Most of the main cast in this survive, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, like a large portion of them, a lot more than you would normally see in a slasher film.
And the whole plot of it is Joe Pantoliano's character is kind of like the slow one that they make fun of, I guess, or whatever. And he ends up being kidnapped, is that right? And it ends up, what it is his mother lives in the fucking woods.
This is so stupid, dude. I was fucking dying laughing at this one too.
And she's like a hybrid of like the Blair Witch meets the fucking bird lady from Home Alone 2 is what she ends up looking like when you see her in this. Because like at the end, she just basically walks out of a damn tree.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's so fucking. It's a great shot too, sadly.
Yeah.
But like, it's so ridiculous that it just kind of kills how good the shot is. So yeah,
she just pops up out of a tree.
Comes out of like a trunk of a fucking tree, like that's fallen over, and just kind of like appears. And you're like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah, and they have like some I think they have some good ideas in this, but of course, this isn't a slasher movie, really. This is like a survival, like wilderness survival movie, maybe.
Yeah.
What you would say, like, so there's a scene in it too where I was like, would that work? Where they booby trapped like a bunch of tree limbs with fucking
Can lids.
can lids, and are
That's
supposed to
probably my
slice.
favorite part of the fucking movie, honestly. Like, yeah, that was the
That's
only
just
part.
like something from Home Alone or whatever. And I'm like, would that kill somebody? Really? I mean, you might cut them or something, maybe. I don't know. Those have to
I'd
be.
fuck you up pretty bad. I would
Did they
think.
sharpen some can lids?
Let's try it. Let's take some can lids out and run an experiment
I
like
don't know.
Mythbusters.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the biggest thing about this movie to me is the scenery and the set, because that was the thing that separated these two movies to me. Is that, like, the guy, whoever the cinematographer, director of photography, who whatever was, did a really good job of capturing like the woods in this movie to where it like looked really menacing, and that became like another part of the film that I thought was really cool. And that's completely different than Savage Garden, aka Savage Weekend.
Ooh, it's a savage, yeah.
Because it actually was something to look at. Like, there was something going on that like really pulled your attention towards it. And when they all get in there, it is kind of frightening to see that, much like, you know, Just Before Dawn or another one of those like mountain kind of movies would be. The problem is nothing happens in this movie for really long stretches of time. And it's
painfully
just
slow.
Yeah, it's just them, like the main cast, walking through the woods, setting up camps, talking, having like grab ass battles in the water, floating around, jerking each other off, like whatever, just like for endless amounts of time throughout this movie. And then, like you said, I guess they just inserted death scenes later.
I think the opening shot was like a reshoot with the couple getting killed with the motorcycle and everything.
Right.
Like that was like I'm thinking that was much later. But yeah, Joey Pantoliano and Daryl Hannah had become stars in the years past, and they kind of capitalized on that. And the slasher boom was kind of already happening. 83 is when this movie was technically made. But it's obvious, you know, the people that made it were not very proud of it. The elements of this, the Scheme Factory made the Blu-ray. I've got it here. It came out a few years ago. But even the beginning, they said that the original source material was lost, and they had used like collector's prints, which there's a ton of 35 millimeter prints of these. I remember back in the day when we were doing the shows down here at the Strand. There was all kinds of Final Tear 35 millimeter prints for like,
buddy, I'm glad we didn't ever
50
show that.
bucks. Yeah,
That would have
50 to
ruined
100
it.
bucks, which is crazy cheap for a 35 millimeter film print. But there's a lot of those, so they piece together, which to me it's fine. You know, it's as good as a movie like this is going to look. They shot a lot of shots. They call it day for night, where like in post production they fuck with the image, like that was shot during the day to make it look like it was nighttime shots, because this was a low budget movie. And a lot of it is still, you can't really see it. Like, you think it was pretty dark, the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's another one that's very kind of like hard to see what's going on. And the version of this that I watched was that Scream Factory Blu-ray too. So, I mean, it was a lot better than watching off Tubi or something like that. But it still was dark and still kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's just because, like you said, they took like 5 or 6. They said at the beginning they took 5 or 6 different like prints and just, I guess, pieced together.
They Frankenstein them together.
Yeah,
brother.
something that would actually like work. It definitely did look better than Savage Weekend, though. That's right, Mayor. But
I'm guessing the poll is broke because nobody else has voted. So I guess
nobody gives a shit about these two movies.
I know more people would vote than that, so I don't know what happened with the poll. But 8 votes still 50-50. So I think something, YouTube is having a lot of issues lately, and I'm very pissed off about it, but what can I do?
True.
The witch in this, though, that you see at the very end, that is supposedly the killer, right?
Yeah.
Didn't, and what I was thinking of, she actually looks, of course, it's played by a dude, but the character of the witch looked like the Todd McFarlane witch from the Blair Witch, the figure.
It does look like that. That's exactly kind of what it looks like, too.
Yeah. And like,
or like, you know, in The Princess Bride, the witch that like, or the woman that walks up to her and is like, I forget what she's saying to her, but it's like a dream sequence. It looks like that woman too. Like, it's kind of the same vibe.
mm-hmm. So, also, she does look nasty in it, like a nasty ass. Like she smells like, armpits and shit. So, I mean, that kind of worked. But like the movie is, I bought this on DVD back when I think a generic El Cheapo DVD company did this, like probably illegally. And I remember back in the day, because you and I were the same, like we were trying to find all of these 80s slasher movies that we'd missed out on. I remember falling asleep on it at the end. Like, I have never liked this movie. I tried again. It was not very good.
I'll be honest, like I like this movie more than I like Savage Weekend, but
I think I like Savage Weekend more.
I don't like this movie though. Like, but I do like it more than, if that tells you anything about the level of like Savage Weekend. However, I think that was just because I think this movie does a better job of capturing like some sort of production values and a decent look. However, it's boring as hell. The kills in it are awful. I did kind of mark out for the old woman coming up out of the tree. I don't know why. I just thought that was killer.
That was well shot. I mean, I'll give them credit. But I mean, I've never really liked the movie. Can I understand why people do like it? Not really. But I don't think many people do like the movie, to be honest. It's weird that the director went on to do some very big budget Hollywood movies and was highly successful, especially after this. Like, this seems like this was a total dud that was kind of like sitting on a shelf somewhere for a while and just may have never came out had, Daryl Hannah and Joey Pants not become big stars, much like the Texas Chainsaw Next Generation movie that sit on a shelf for a little while before it came out. So, but yeah, man, that is The Final Terror from 1983. People in the chat, let us know what you think. I'm looking into maybe trying to add another poll in here, but I may say fuck it. I don't know what happened with that one. But
let's fucking do an informal poll. Just ask people to put something in the chat, like which one
is your favorite?
Prefer?
Yeah.
I mean,
let us know.
This was a rough week for me. I watched both these, and I really didn't get anything out of either one of them, to be honest. I don't think I'll ever watch either of these films again if I can keep from it. There's nothing great or really even that good in either one of these. I know some people like Final Terror. I've never heard anybody talk about Savage Weekend, really, but I know some people like Final Terror.
I think Savage Weekend is one of those movies that not many people had seen. Paragon back in the day did the VHS tape. That was almost like a regional company. Those tapes weren't out everywhere, so that was kind of a hard one to track down. And I don't know if too many people bought the Kino Scorpion release when it came out. So The Final Terror is definitely more of the well-known of the two, just because I think Vestron had the VHS of that, and that one did have, even though it was El Cheapo DVD, it did have a DVD release.
I like this answer. It's probably the best answer. I guess Final Terror, but I'm not happy about it. That's how I feel too. It's like,
yeah, these are two fucking clusters of a movie, to be honest. But so
backwoods slashers though are kind of a fun anomaly to me, because you had the forest, and you had Just Before Dawn, and you had Don't Go in the Woods, and like all of those are better in my opinion than either one of these
Oh
movies.
yeah, but I mean the point of this show, and we've tried to tell Matthew this, and we do appreciate the super chats, man. But like these are us covering these movies that we've not talked about very much or ever before. Which I'm thinking both of these we had never reviewed before.
There's no way. I don't think I've ever seen Savage Weekend. Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that's the fun aspect of it, and the fact that, hey, we want you guys to watch it along with us and check back, because we let you guys know we're about to showcase whatever the next two are, which I think people will be like, what? What the fuck? But this is going to be, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one. But I do have, before we get to that, and some show announcements and stuff like that, a package we have a listener of the show had sent us, and I had a bunch of stuff piled up here for the past week once that I've been gone, and he had sent this on sent us an email. Our boy John, I'll just call him John without giving too much of it away, had picked us up a couple of shirts from, and a lot of people were posting about these, Uncle Bill, because he is up in that area. So I wanted to do a little bit of a shout out to him. He's in here, Nubbins. There you go.
Yeah, I'm about to mark out for this.
I wanted to do an unboxing on here so we could both see it live in person. But before I get to the unboxings, we're talking about shirts.
Jesus. Yeah.
Brand new, boys. The Neon Nightmares 1989 Dead Pit shirt. You can wear it to the beach. Shop.deadpit.com. Holler.
Yep. Which is a killer design.
John Nubbins.
John Nubbins.
Yeah, I'd actually ordered it hoping that I would get it in time to go to the beach, but it didn't work out that way. But it is available for you guys if you're going on vacation this year. I want to show you my package. And I don't think it'll fit on screen totally, but we'll try. Well packaged here, man. Lots of tape. You used lots of tape. Nubbins. Big Match John. Damn!
Get into that son of a bitch.
So I'll show you the shirt. It's a limited edition from the Blairstown Diner Bulls in Blairstown, New Jersey. Look at that.
Look at that shit. Now that's something else.
Vintage 1980. It hasn't changed much since 1980. And it has a print on the back as well. Blairstown Diner. It has the phone number on it. Give them a call. Order you a Voorhees burger. Right.
We'll order it from Kentucky and just never go pick it up.
That's a really cool shirt. I like that design quite a bit. That is a real diner. It's still there, yeah. I think the lady that was the waitress in the diner passed away very shortly. What was her name? Ruby or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I think she was she an actress or was that a real waitress? I'm not sure. But big shout out, Nubbins. Man, we greatly appreciate it. Sending us the shirts and everything, and we will definitely wear them proudly, for sure.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Well, what we got to do, Uncle Bill, since we're both going to be at the Living Dead weekend in Rocktober, because we're going out to eat with Tom Matthews and Slippy at the Applebee's.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen.
That's my whole reason for going. I want to make that happen. I'm going to buy Tom Matthews a barbecue steak, you pussy!
Dude, we've got to make that happen somehow.
We're going to have to coordinate with our shirts, so we're going to have matching shirts each day that we're there.
You think?
Yeah.
That'd be a killer idea, really.
Well, I'll pay for the bourbon street chicken too, pussy.
Did you ever hear the story about him and George Clooney, by the way? Did I tell that before?
Yeah, I think we may have talked about it years ago. Like,
No, but I mean the other story where like Clooney gave like all of his best friends like $1 million when he got really, really famous. And Tom
yeah,
Matthews was one of them. And he paid the taxes on it and everything like beforehand too. So he gave them all like
tax free,
$1 million. Yeah.
$1 million. Yeah.
And Tom Matthews was one of those fucking guys. And I read that and I was like, Jesus Christ, that guy's the luckiest son of a bitch ever. Like just fall into that guy's shit.
Well, for people that don't know, we did interview Tom Matthews back in the day, and when we did the interview, he was at George Clooney's house. He was actually house sitting or whatever and taking care of his pets or whatever he needed taken care of. I'm sure we mentioned that before in the past, but it was kind of funny because I think we brought up George Clooney because he was from Kentucky, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm actually sitting in his house right now."
Listen, if we don't get that,
I'm dog
Applebee's,
watching, bitch.
if we don't get that Applebee's thing to happen, then at the very least, we've got to go up to him and like you try to do that impression and like me record it like to him. Like somehow we've got to get that.
I think he is a nice guy. I think it'll be fine. We'll
Yeah.
see. But also, though, we got some shows coming up. This coming Thursday is the summer sale from Severin. They've made a bunch of announcements already. People are excited. They just can't hide it. It's going to be late night on Thursday night.
Yep.
The Severin sale. And unfortunately, Garrett is on vacation next week. So we are in need of a fourth man for this sale. So we're going to start hyping it up, and it'll be a super secret surprise. But yeah, the summer sale, the Severin sale. Who is the fourth man? Is it going to be the Undertaker? I don't know. We'll see. Who's
Is it the
mystery
Black
man?
Scorpion?
Is it going to be Kane again?
Yeah, it's Ric Flair.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Also, I'm sure we'll talk it. I think Dark Force is doing a sale the same night. So we'll get to look at some of their shit.
Lord God. They've been having a sale for like the last couple of weeks. I'd say to probably pay for like legal fees.
Probably.
Yes.
Hey, brother, get your farmer trading cards.
Buy these wrestling figures off of me, bulls. Come on.
He's selling 35mm prints in that sale, too. I did see
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be cool if you're a collector. Like I got rid of the only ones that I have left is of Madman, and I have 3 out of 5 reels of No Holds Barred, the Hulk Hogan movie. That's the only 2 ones that I've got left. And I've got a bunch of trailers and stuff too. 35.
What would you do though if like they down there at the Strand went back to like a movie theater?
Well, I think we would have to work with them, but I mean, it depends on what they want to do with it. Like if they wanted to do midnight movies once a month and have us help promote it, which I would be down for, even if it wasn't horror stuff. Like, I mean, but it just, we'll see. I don't think they're doing that though. I think it's going to be like a restaurant or something.
I don't think so either. And it kind of does lose the appeal too because it's not 35. It wouldn't be 35mm, I'm sure. Like they probably already sold them fucking things or blew them up or something.
But at the same time, most movie fans don't give a shit anymore. Like it's a different era.
I give shit.
Yeah.
Bunch of fuckers.
Bunch of fucking pasties.
No, I'm going to watch fucking HD DVD or something on there. No.
We're going to, what do they call it? It's like a hard drive, I think now, right? Or sometimes they just download it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Whatever it is, it sucks.
I don't know. They have vibrating seats and shit, though, in some of these big theaters. Like, that's a big thing.
Oh, good.
Oh, God.
You can tickle your clit while you're in there watching the Avengers or something. Woo! God damn.
Midnight in Space. Good question. What's a really cool horror movie you guys watched in the last year or two you would highly recommend?
The ones that I would highly recommend, nobody else seems to like. So,
Well, The Substance, I think we both recommend that. That came out last year. The Coffee Table, I think, was one that I highly
buddy,
recommend.
you have to be in a certain type of mindset to watch that
Ow!
movie, though.
Cat just bit the fuck out of my foot.
Body fucking.
Cat's very
oh.
pissed off that we left her at the board. You know, we boarded the cat for a week. She's not happy. She's still letting us know.
I mean, there's several films that have come out last 2 or 3 years that I really liked a lot. Like, I liked Long Legs quite a bit. A lot of people don't like that, but I liked it. The Substance, like you said, was probably like one of my favorites. What was that one movie? I can never remember the name of it. The one that came on Shudder. It was like a Spanish horror film, but it was great.
Oh yeah, the Damien Rugna.
When Evil Lurks.
When Evil Lurks.
Yeah.
That Second Sight's doing like a special edition of that coming out soon, and I mean, there's actually a lot of like the independent stuff that over the last few years that have like honestly like I know we haven't talked much about this, and I'm not really super excited that they're doing a sequel to it just because it doesn't make sense. It's not needed. But Black Phone I thought was pretty good. I kind of liked it. That was from 2 or 3 years ago. Barbarian was pretty good up to a point. Then it fell off. They had to fucking get Justin Long in it. Ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
What's some other ones, man? I don't know.
There's been a ton. We both like Five Cream. That was great.
Oh yeah, Beetlejuice. It was killer.
Fucking amazing movie.
Exorcist, the beginning, or
Yeah,
what was it called?
them two little
Exorcist.
girls that go into the woods and lose their memory.
What's funny is it's almost like that movie, like they've wiped that movie. Like that movie doesn't exist at all.
Good, yeah, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
It never
Yeah.
should have existed to begin with.
David Gordon Green's career doesn't exist anymore either.
Nope. It's over with. And I don't even think it's ever going to get made by Flanagan either, from what I can understand. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything about it, so.
just leave it alone.
Okay, so next week, we're doing something a little out there, but we want you guys to stick with us, boss. This is going to be fun, I promise. So next week, we're featuring 2 movies that could be slasher movies, right? That's kind of been, it's almost a slasher movie. Is it a slasher movie? These are 2 more of the well-known, like probably more well-known movies, but are they slasher movies, right? So we're taking a look. The one that I picked is one that I started thinking about, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go into it this time like it's a slasher movie, and we're going to answer the question. So from 1984, director James Cameron, we're going to take a look at the original Terminator next week. What do you got, Uncle Bill?
And then I picked the Lou Diamond Phillips masterpiece that is The First Power, which is a cop action film, but has a lot of slasher elements to it. So, yeah, there you go.
Satan has created the perfect killer, one who cannot be stopped. Be warned.
So here's the funny thing. I know which one's going to win that poll by a mile. You don't even need to put that fucking poll up. People will be fucking burning that up with Terminator.
Yeah. So it's going to be a fun one. Kind of mix it up a little bit. We're trying to do little themes for each episode. I don't know how long that's going to work out, but that'll be a fun one for sure. And give me a reason to watch The Terminator again, which it's been a while, actually. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. But it does have a very fun vibe to it and very, early to mid 80s look, which I like quite a bit, even though it's supposed to be futuristic, but
So we thought that would be slasher adjacent, so to speak.
Yeah, there we go. So, anything else we got? We're going to be doing a Dead Pit is Watching episode very soon. We're getting that together. We've got lots of stuff to review. The Severance sale coming up. Friday Night Lives. Have you guys decided on any sort of theme for this Friday yet, or no?
Well, like I was telling them, like we did a commentary last week for Day of the Dead, or this past Friday for Day of the Dead. for the 40th anniversary. So we got to do just a bullshit show this time. That's kind of how it mixes up. Something structured and then just a bunch of nonsense like Q&A type of stuff.
Okay. That works for me, brother. That's what people seem to like anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Just chaos.
The mayor's asking, does anyone know where they can stream? I think, man, if I'm not mistaken, that's either on Tubi or Prime. It's on one of those. I'm fairly certain. I can't remember which one though.
Yeah, let us we get back to you on it. Like I don't know if I have it on VHS, the first Power, but I don't think I've got it on DVD. Like I don't remember the DVD. I might have it.
Well, I've got. This is the version that I've got. It's the fucking
right. And did it come out in the US on Blu-ray?
Yeah, I think. Well, Blu-ray, I'm not sure, but I have the DVD of it too, and it's like I think it's MGM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I'm fairly certain it's got a Blu-ray.
It may. Hey, we'll find it. I'll watch it. But all right, guys. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. Stay tuned to the site. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and all that. And check out our Patreon page and subscribe on it. We're going to be adding more exclusive content on it soon on the Patreon, the YouTube member section. So buy a hat, buy a shirt. Shop.deadpit.com, Deadpit on Patreon.com. And of course,
DeadPit.com.
I want all these people to click everything they're supposed to click.
You haven't been liking them, you haven't been subscribing to them, you haven't clicked the bell or notification or anything like that.
Folks, why don't you click the like button?
Do you hate us? Do you not want to see us succeed?
Why don't you click the heart button?
Is this something that you have against our particular show?
Why don't you subscribe?
You should click on one of them buttons right now if you want us to continue to bring greatness into your life.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. You know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
Here's what other fucking Patreons do. They're like, hey, give us money and then we'll let you see a video early that we're going to release like a fucking week from now, and then that's all we're going to give you. Meanwhile, we have a literal jukebox full of songs, thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram. Help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So deadpitonpatreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us